Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we have some pork loin going on here. This was one big long piece of pork loin. I just happened to cut it in half. Again, I'm feeding about 11 people today, so I just cut it in half. I don't have a pan long enough for this piece of pork loin. Again, I did cut it in half. Okay, and it was on sale this week, so as you can see, I did cut off some of the fat. This portion was already cut, so I didn't have to do anything to this first front part, and then the back part, it still had most of the fat on it, so I did trim off some of it. We need all that on there for the nice juices. This is what they use when they cut in that boneless pork loin pork chops. If you want to do your own, this would be the piece of meat that you buy, and you cut them yourself, how thick or how thin you want them. But today we keeping these babies whole. So let's get the seasoning. I already mixed up my seasoning already. Of course, in the description box, I will have everything that I have in here. You know how you always empty out your seasonings? You finish with your little containers. Should I suggest that you do keep your little containers? Keep a couple of them. So therefore, when you don't have to top each seasoning on it. I like to mix mine up and, put it all over my meat. So we're actually gonna, rub the meat with this, and again, it will be in the description box. One of the seasonings that I do use in my seasoning for today, this is Sazón Total, or you can get Sazón Complete, if I'm saying it properly. But this is what I'm using in my seasoning, just in case you guys look for it. This is one of the seasonings that I'm using, besides the garlic powder and the onion flakes and all that good stuff. I'm also using Mojo Marinate by Badia. It's made with like orange juice, grapefruit juice. It has salt, spices, herbs, garlic, onion. It is great for marinating pork with any meat, chicken and beef as well. I get it from my local supermarket, but I found when I went to the Dollar Tree, they also have it at the Dollar Tree. So of course, I picked up about 4 bottles of this. This marinade, again, is excellent for marinating your pork. Give it a try. Also, I'm using some garlic, of course. You know it. This is about 3 tablespoons of garlic. So, let's get seasoning. First, we're going to take that marinade, that mojo, and we're going to pour it. Now, I only have 3 tablespoons here, so I'm not going to use a lot today. I'm going to use that little bit for that side. And we're going to rub the meat. Just rub it all over your meat. Have fun with it. And we're going to do both sides just like that. Now we're going to take some of the garlic. And we're going to put half of that garlic and rub it on this side as well. I am going to let this marinate for about 4 or 5 hours because I am cooking it today. Usually I marinate it overnight, but I didn't feel like it, so I am going to cook it today. I'm just going to marinate it for like 4 or 5 hours. You can do it overnight. You can do it longer. You can just go ahead and marinate it like this and throw it in the oven if that's what you choose to do. It's fine. But I want these seasonings to get in a little bit. Now, I'm going to take our seasoning rub, and now we're going to generously season our meat with it. A little pat there. Beat it. Get all that flavor up in there. And we make sure we don't miss any portion of seasoning this, okay, guys? Again, I like to season generously. It's never salty. I don't add any salt to it. Very rarely do I add salt to my seasoning. That's only because the seasonings that you use more than likely got enough salt in it already. Let's flip this baby around. I want y'all to see the other side of it. So you see, like I said, don't leave any portion of this meat uncovered. And I do have it on some paper towel. I did wash it the pork in cold water. I did use some limes. I do rub the lime on there, and some salt water. And I let them chill out for about 10 minutes in that lime salt water. And then I commence to taking the pieces of lime, and then I just rub the meat with it. All right, so let's flip this baby to the other side. Get rid of this paper towel here. All right. Now we got to flip. Do the same process. Take the rest of that mojito Creole, I do believe it's called, and I'm gonna rub it on there. You can use more. If I was doing like the penne, I would put more on there. I mean, like completely drown it. But I'm not doing the Puerto Rican pulled pork today. I'm just gonna cook this the way it is and just slice it up. The rest of that garlic. And again, just follow the same process. And you know what? Because it doesn't look wet enough for me, I'm just going to add a little bit more. So about another tablespoon. Get all that on there. You can also put slices in it and stuff garlic down in there. But guess what? That's the reason why I'm using this type of garlic, because I didn't have enough to do all that. So I'd rather have chopped the garlic up and put it on there instead of stuffing it with garlic. And again, take your seasoning. And again, I will have the seasoning listed in the description box of what I threw together. I do have a house seasoning, but I don't use the house seasoning on everything. I like to switch it up from time to time, and I'm always mixing up some type of seasoning. So I'll let y'all know what I mixed up this time. So get all that in there. Again, marination is the key, but you don't have to. It's all in what you prefer. It's your kitchen, baby. Do what you want to do. Right? Turn that sucker around. Make sure I got this back portion here. Split that. So again, I'm going to let this marinate in the fridge for about 4 hours. 3.5 hours, I'm going to take it out so I can bring it to room temperature before I cook it in the oven. So, looks like our pork is seasoned. Yeah. So again, let that hang out in the refrigerator for about 4 hours. And I'll see you back in 4 hours. Okay, so this is our marinated meat. It's been 4 hours. I have let it sit out for a half an hour to bring it up to room temperature. And let's go ahead and get this meat prepared for the oven. So for whatever pan that you're going to cook your meat in, we want to make a bed of vegetables. Here I did slice up one large onion, as well as a yellow pepper and a red pepper. Please use whatever peppers that you have on hand, whatever pepper you like, or skip this process altogether. All right, now that we got our bed of vegetables down, again, whatever vegetables that you choose to use, let's go ahead and get our meat into the pan. Pan is big enough. Ooh, boy, I just made it. Get it all nice and snug in there, okay? Nice, nice, nice. Final step. I do have 2 cups of chicken bouillon broth here that I made. I used the Knorr Chicken Bouillon Cubes. You know, those Knorr cubes are pretty big. It does require for you to have 2 cups of liquid to dissolve 1 cube. I did that. Drop 1 cube in 2 cups of hot boiling water. If it doesn't dissolve all the way, that's fine. It's in this hot liquid here. It's going to dissolve eventually. I am going to put a piece of foil over it, get it in a preheated 350-degree oven. I'm going to cook this thick piece of meat for about 2.5 hours, and take it out every half an hour to baste it, just to ensure that the meat does stay juicy and tender. It may seem like a long time, but again, this meat is pretty thick, so I want to make sure that this pork gets completely done. So, 2 hours in, this is what we come up with. I did pour off some of the liquid after about 1.5 hours off camera. I do apologize for not showing that. But it did make, a lot of juice in here. I did baste it every half an hour to ensure the juiciness of this pork loin, and that's what you want to do. Basting is a big key, to help keep your meat moist and not to dry out. So again, after 2 hours, this is what it is. I did not take the foil off to make it brown like this, to get it brown. It did that with the foil on it. So I am satisfied with how this meat came out. Thanks for tuning in and watching me put this pork loin together. It looks delicious, and I know it's going to taste the same. And you know how you're going to know, because you're going to try it. Don't forget, thumbs up for the video and subscribe if you haven't already. All right, my lovelies. Until next time, enjoy.